Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and you guys have asked for it. Well, here it is. This is a Tikka T1X 22 long rifle. Gonna start a little bit of a project with it. Not sure how far it's gonna go, but I wanted to do a series on this so that you guys, if you were interested in buying a Tikka, or maybe you were looking at a CZ versus a Tikka, you can make a better informed decision on the two of these rifles. Now, instead of standing up here and boring you to death for 5 minutes talking about what's good and what's bad, let's get straight into shooting. We're gonna do some 50-yard group shooting. We're gonna shoot it, and I'm gonna talk to you about the finer and lesser points of this rifle. All right, so we are gonna be shooting Elite 10X today, and I'm gonna quickly load the magazine, which brings us to our very first subject of controversy, the magazine. Honestly, it feels cheap. It has some feed lips right here. They are very sharp and unfinished. I don't know why they're so sharp. You know, for an adult, it's not a big deal. Definitely prefer the CZ mag to this magazine. All right, we're gonna just start shooting groups here. All right, first group, not that great, but was cold bore, and we really haven't found the ammo that this thing likes. It's been fairly picky for me, just being totally honest. The bolt throw, the action is slick. The one thing I don't like, and I'll demonstrate it here in a second, when we start this next group, is the bolt lift. So this lift requires quite a bit of pressure. I let my 7-year-old try and actually work this bolt, and she could not. It was just too stiff for her. So if you have little kids and you know, 7 years or younger, and you want to shoot with them, they may not be able to work the action of this rifle. There we go. That's a good group. You know, besides that, it is a very short throw, and it's very easy to work. For an adult, it's not a problem at all. It is a little different because it is like a 45-degree throw versus a 60 or 90, but the action overall extremely nice. Of course, you guys know the Tikka, the T1X, the fit and finish here is really good. This is the Mtr barrel, so it does have threads. We're not going to use those, but it is a nice option. I'm going to load up another 10 rounds here and probably talk about my least favorite thing about this rifle, and that is this factory stock. Ergonomically, it's terrible. Super flimsy, super light, super cheap. I get it, it gets the price point down, but it's terrible. I have to completely change the way I shoot to make this work, and actually, let me grab this. I'm not gonna talk about this a lot, but if you see this piece lives inside this stock. The barrel actually sits in here. When I first got it, that was installed. It's one screw in there, and this thing would not shoot. I mean, it was the worst shooting rifle I'd ever seen for the price point. I took that out. It did improve things quite a bit, but the stock overall, this grip angle is just terrible. It needs to be more of a vertical grip, and they do sell one, so you can buy one. The butt pad, not much there, very slick, but outside of that, you know, it's a synthetic stock, and it's a, you know, a cheap price point, so I get it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but overall it just kind of sucks. Obviously, we have the Arkin EP5 on here. This is kind of put together for a reason. I intended this to be a base class, production class legal rifle. I don't know that I can live with this stock, honestly, to do that, to keep that dream alive. I have a feeling I'm going to have to put this in a chassis because the stock is just not good. The trigger, on the other hand, is freaking phenomenal. So it is adjustable from the factory, and mine is adjusted down. It's about 1.5 pounds, and I mean, it's probably the best factory trigger I've ever felt. I have no idea if that was 4 or 5, but we're gonna shoot another one. That's what I get for talking. You know what, let's shoot 10. This thing's shooting pretty good. And like I said, there's absolutely no creep in this trigger. It breaks like glass, and it's 1.5 pounds when you turn it down. That is 100% usable. It's, like I said, probably the best production trigger that I've ever felt. Now when you get it out of the box, it's going to be pretty heavy. But you got, I think that's it. But you have one adjustment screw, and I mean, you turn this thing way down, and it's really good. What we're gonna do now is, let's mix it up. I have some semi-auto bench rest here. I'm gonna load those first, so those will be the second 5. I'm just curious to see how it shoots out of this rifle. We'll see how picky or not picky it is. So those will be the last 5 shots that we take here. Yeah, like I said though, the trigger, you know, best in class, bar none. Super good. Has T3 compatibility. Now T3 is our big centerfire rifle, so everything T3 works on the T1X, so it does have that. It has a lot of compatibility in that sense. Does not come with a rail. It's 11mm dovetail like the CZ. I put an EGW 20 MOA on here, and it's like 80 bucks. So cheaper than a lot of the other options, and very super high quality. So if you're looking for, you know, a base for your Tikka or your CZ or whatever, EGW is definitely worth looking at. The Arkin so far, it's my first time behind the Arkin. It's for the money, pretty dang good, but we're gonna do a complete video just on that. And this is still the same ammo, the 10X. And keep in mind, guys, I've done nothing to this but shoot it and take that little block out. So I haven't played with torque. I haven't really looked for ammo. You can see here, it really wants to shoot. That second group was awesome. The 10-shot group was pretty awesome. Had 2 little flyers. Let's see if this semi-auto bench rest does any better. That's the next 5. Oh, what in the world? That was 3 in one hole, and then one just crazy low. That one went back in the same. All right, we got to shoot a couple more. That's ridiculous. Reliability has been pretty good. I have had a few failure to fires on Ely. You know, I shot Lapua too, no failure to fires on that or SK, but it just didn't shoot it as well as some of the Ely, so I just kind of grabbed the Ely. Wanted to give this just the best shot. Well, let's shoot 5 more. We're just gonna drop down. Hopefully we can get rid of that flyer. Woo, buddy. All right, so we have the Tikka T1X and the Arkin EP5 here, and I just wanted to quickly kind of wrap this video up. Now, this is not nearly the end for this rifle. Like I said, out there shooting today, I do want to put this in a different stock configuration because I really, truly do believe the movement, the POI shifts, the movement in the groups, the shooting 2 separate groups, I think that is in the stock because the stock barreled action just seems like it wants to shoot. We are going to look at putting a new stock on this, leaving the factory barreled action completely alone, and see if that accuracy comes back in for us, because I think even adding a stock to this, which is something, just going to be honest, you're really going to want to do, because this polymer stock really, it just kind of sucks. All of them do around this price point. You're just going to get a super cheap, super flexy polymer stock. So I'm going to reach out to some people. I'm going to see what we can get for the channel, see if we can get this thing shooting really, really well. But overall, like I said, all the points in the video, I overall do like this rifle. It does have some flaws. I think they're all kind of overcomable. So we'll see what the future holds for this rifle. We'll see what we can do with it. I appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.